Let's go Cubs. Edmondson in the top 4 for Montreal. It'd be an interesting signing if they made that happen. They want a little more punch up front, though, don't they? Like a little more scoring. Hello, Lars. Princess. Hello, everybody. Howdy to England, Serena. Hello to Sweden, Nicholas. She's still recovering from being out in the smoke. Like, it is just crap out there right now. The smoke here has just been really bad. So, Kingston, California, where the smoke's coming from. Oh, they traded for Edmondson's rights. I'll do a video on that after the live stream. It's not a huge deal. The Wild Pens trade, I covered that in the News of the Day video this morning. So that's already been covered. Chances Detroit gets Stutzel. I can't see Stutzel dropping to 4. Ottawa after this draft have a top 2 prospect pool? Probably. Probably in the top range. I already made that bigger.
Oh, you did. Nice. Am I going on this side?
Yep. That's our sides.
Oh, right.
Because I'm left-handed and you're right-handed, so this way
Yes,
we're
we can
always
avoid each other.
Yeah.
Makes it more fun.
That's the plan.
Hello, I'm okay. It's really, really smoky here, and I have really bad asthma and allergies, so excuse my crappy voice, and I probably look like crap. So
bad. My eyes were burning by the time we went to bed last night. And I mean, I'm in the house and the windows are closed, and it's in the house.
It is.
It's bad.
Really bad air quality. And we're not even by the fires. So I feel bad for people that are actually by the fires.
Yeah.
We live in a valley, and so the smoke comes up here and it kind of
just sits
pools. Like you can even see it just looking at the neighbors' houses.
It just sits in
it looks like it's really, really bad fall.
Well, I posted a couple pictures to Instagram of how smoky the trees look. So
it's
ugly.
Weird. If you look at the satellite images, there's no clouds or anything, but it looks like it's
That's why they have a smoke map now.
Foggy and really, really overcast.
The smoke map is ugly. It's supposed to stay that way for a couple of days.
It's odd. We live about an hour away from Vancouver, BC.
All we need now are the moths.
2020, really.
We need the moths to come out, and then it's complete. Then we're in
I told the boys the apocalypse would not be complete without, pandemic and poisonous air. We needed to make it so that it hurt to go outside.
And moths. We need the moths. So, I know they're in Vancouver. The moths need to come out into the valley, and then it really looks like a pandemic.
We do have murder hornets here, but
I think they took care of them.
Yeah.
I think they took care of them.
It ended up not being a huge deal. Frogs next. I know. We need some locust. Right now, we just have a few grasshoppers.
That's true.
What happened to the hornets? They weren't as bad as
if you saw one, you were supposed to call pest control, and then they'd come out and they do a full sweep of the area. So they did a pretty good job, I think, of tracking them down before
somebody in Oregon. Yeah, I have a couple friends in Portland, and it is bad.
It is really bad.
One of my friends, my friend Chris, his wife had his daughter 3 days ago, and he said, "Picked a good time to be born."
Yeah. Do you name it Ashley?
No. I went to school with a boy that was born on the second day that Mount St. Helens was erupting, and his middle name is Ashton, and he hated it.
There you go.
But he was born during Mount St. Helens, so.
What are you after? He probably wants to go outside. He doesn't understand it's all.
I don't know. I see the copy and paste Joel trade until he sees it. That's really annoying when people do that. Just saying. Who do you cheer for in the MLB?
Padres. San Diego Padres. The Jays to some extent, because it'd be nice to see them win something again. Red Sox, of course, because they're from Boston. So I do tend to cheer for teams from Boston. I know Toronto right now, that's kind of a sad subject because of the Raptors losing, but they put up a good fight. Hey, kitty.
Thoughts on the Edmondson trade to Montreal for a 5th?
It's a trade that makes sense for both sides. Edmondson wasn't going to re-sign, I guess. They had enough defensemen. Edmondson's a good defenseman. He can play a top 4 role as long as he doesn't get asked to do too much. He can be solid. And it's low risk for Montreal if they're not able to re-sign him. No harm, no foul. They only lost a 5th-round pick.
What do you think about El Paso hosting Kraft Hockeyville? Is that the same?
Are they still doing that? Yeah, it's the hometown hockey. I mean, it's that's
be
good.
As cold.
No, but still, I'm
hometown
wondering.
Hockey is always free.
I thought that would be pandemic affected,
right? You would think.
On some level,
maybe they're pretending it doesn't exist there.
On some level.
Will Dallas have a change in goaltending tonight?
I hope not. If Ottinger's in net tonight, then Dallas is in deep trouble. I like Ottinger as the future, but Hudobin's been fantastic, so hopefully Hudobin's still the guy. Hopefully he's okay.
Where does Travis Dermot go?
I'd be surprised if Toronto doesn't find a way to keep him. I don't think there's a desire on Toronto's part to move on from him, and I don't think he necessarily wants to leave Toronto. If they make him available, it really depends on the asking price. Dermot's a good defenseman. He's decent top 4 option. Is he replaceable? Probably, but for Toronto, I'm not sure how much cap space they have to go out and find a replacement either.
What would it take for the Rangers to get Domi?
Not as much as it would have taken last summer. If the Rangers wanted Domi, I would think that you could probably swing that trade. Geez, I don't know. I mean, is D'Angelo available from the Rangers? If Montreal was willing to take a shot at D'Angelo, they're both restricted free agents. And that would give Montreal exactly what they need on the blue line. It's just a matter of whether or not Bergevin will be willing to do it.
Oh, what in your mind is the scariest movie?
The original Evil Dead, the first time I saw it, I couldn't sleep that night. And it got in my head. It was one of those things where it would get in my head. It doesn't bother me that way now, but it's because I've seen it a few times. But I wouldn't recommend it to my wife, as a for instance, because I don't
watch the really scary
I don't think
ones.
Well, it's not.
I don't watch the gory ones.
See, the thing is, it's not scary.
Like gory movie.
It's not scary as much as it's just very realistic and kind of like realistic. Like there's some cartoonish gore in it, but it's just very. It just feels kind of creepy when you're watching it, because it just doesn't feel. I don't know. It's hard to explain. We'll have to watch it sometime. You'll understand after you've watched it.
I don't know about that. When are you watching Smokey and the Bandit 2 and 3 for fun? I don't know that would be fun. That doesn't sound like fun to me.
Even I have to admit, Smokey and the Bandit 3 is not fun. Smokey and the Bandit 3 was not great. I remember watching that. That was, I think it was one of my birthday parties. I watched Smokey and the Bandit 3 and I was all excited. And then I realized Burt Reynolds wasn't in it. And I'm like, wait, what is this? Why isn't Burt Reynolds? So it's Smokey and the Bandit without the bandit? Wait, why is Snowman the bandit? Oh, this is not. No. So I'm more gassed for the remake that I'm gonna start getting a crowdfunding going, because Yvonne really wants to see us remake Smokey and the Bandit.
Really don't.
She thinks that's a really good idea.
Watch Dr. Sleep. We did watch Dr. Sleep.
I did watch Dr. Sleep. Well, I think we did a review of it on the Entertainment Guy.
No, you did it without me. That's
did
when
I?
You did
Okay.
Just without me.
Okay.
Smoking the Bandit would make for a good live action movie outside right now.
Yep. Yeah, you could do a socially distant, easily done Smoking the Bandit movie. It could work really, really well.
What's your opinion on Miro Heiskinen?
Heiskinen's fantastic. I don't jump on the he'll win a Norris Trophy train, because there are a lot of players that people think are going to win Norris's. So, as the video I did last week proved, but he is an excellent defenseman. He is the future on the blue line for Dallas, more so than Klingberg.
What should Carolina do to get more gritty, other than buy the mascot from Philly, or should they just stay course?
I think Carolina's in pretty good shape as they are. I mean, Ferland brought them something when he was there that maybe they missed that against Boston. But I think really with Carolina, with their young core, I think it's experience, and I think they'll be fine. I think a lot of the physical aspect of it, I think they can get that from within.
How does Vancouver make moves this offseason and maintain enough cap space for Hughes and Pettersson in the future?
Oh, that's the big trick. So that video is coming up the next couple of days, where I'll do the outlook for 2021 for Vancouver, and really, Eriksson, Beagle, Roussel, $12 million. That's the challenge. It's too much money on three guys who are replaceable. And like McEwen can step into Beagle's shoes, and Roussel can go. And Eriksson's been a healthy scratch so much. That's $12 million. That's way too much money. And it's going to handcuff them badly.
Shannon's done videos on the channel, how the channel became.
Yeah.
How it came to be.
Yep. I've done plenty of those, actually.
Yeah, he has. Are you excited for the first day of football?
They had that on Thursday.
Anyways.
Kansas City won the opener on Thursday night. The only reason I haven't been really covering NFL is because the NHL's on. Normally, at this time of year, there is no hockey. So it's easy for me to watch football all day on Sunday. And as much as Yvonne gets excited about it,
I really don't like football. It's stupid.
As much as Yvonne wants to watch it, it gets to a point where I've got to devote my attention one place or the other, and it's going to go to hockey, which is too bad because I miss doing the NFL power rankings. I know Yvonne was really weighing in on the power rankings for the NFL as well.
I don't even know all the
teams. She thought I would have had the Bengals way too low because she loves their jerseys. Their helmets.
Remember that's the tiger stripe one.
Yeah, Bengal Tigers.
As far as that goes.
And they're beautiful.
Aren't you proud of me? I now remember
that a Bengal is a tiger.
Tiger one. Ta-da!
Well, a Bengal is a tiger.
Okay. My 3-month-old daughter won't stop crying and take a nap. Yvonne, want to hold a baby? Yes.
I love babies. I'm very good with babies.
Shannon's so cute with babies.
I love babies.
He does. And they stare at him.
They're so cute.
Is there a kitten in your future? We have 4 cats.
4 cats all fixed. No kittens.
Good.
No kittens. And our cats aren't old either, so it's going to be a long time.
No, they're not.
We have another cat.
They're not old at all. No, we have 4 cats, and they would all hate a kitten.
These 2 are 7, and the other 2 are 6. So everything's just fine.
Yvonne's pick for Super Bowl.
You're taking the Patriots, aren't you?
Saskatchewan Roughriders or Orlando Apollos. Well, I know the Roughriders aren't in the NFL. They're in Canadian football.
No, but with the CFL being
I don't recognize the name of the Apollos. Is that actually a team? Okay. See?
No.
Ta-da! I know it's not a
Orlando doesn't have a football team. Jacksonville does,
I didn't know that.
They're the Jaguars.
Okay.
Because you have Jaguars, Panthers, Lions, Bengals, Cats. Cats love to play football.
No, we talked about that once. You were showing me all the magnets, and it was cats and birds.
And the teams that I don't like are usually the ones with birds as logos. I don't know what the hell that's all
Cats and birds.
I usually cheer for the ones with cats as logos. I guess that goes back to when I was a kid.
Is Ferland done as a player?
I think so. From the wording and the way that it was described when he left the bubble, I think it's done. I think the concussion's still haunting him. That was the danger when they signed him last summer, and I think he's probably done. I think he's going to be on LTIR.
Why would it be an interesting time to start the stream? We did the middle of the day after I was able to do our curbside grocery pickup.
Yes, so she had to get groceries.
And of course, plenty of time before.
Lots of time before the hockey game. And I had time to do the videos this morning that I wanted to get done, including both draft videos. I put in 2 days of work on figuring out exactly where I thought everyone would get drafted. And nope.
Adam's poor kitty.
But she'll be cooler.
Right.
Cats get over that pretty quickly.
What's your favorite hockey movie?
As I say, Happy Gilmore, if it counts as a hockey movie. And yeah, I mean, Slapshot's good. Goon is good.
Yeah, Shannon's done videos.
Does Letterkenny count?
The channel started.
Does Letterkenny count?
No, it's not a movie.
You sure? Because there's hockey in it.
There is definitely hockey.
I had a dream about it last night. That counts as a movie, doesn't it?
No.
I had a dream about Letterkenny in that I dreamt that
Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks. That's Shannon's favorite.
I had an argument with somebody.
That's all-time favorite.
Oh, I hate Mighty Ducks. But I had an argument with somebody, but we were just, you figure it out. You figure it out. And we were doing all the phrases and then as I'm going downstairs, I ran across Jared Kiso, who plays Wayne. And I said, "Hey, Wayne, how are you now?" And he just told me to F myself and grumbled and kept walking. So I guess Jared Kiso didn't feel like being Wayne in that moment. That was sad. But Sarah Michelle Gellar dressed me like an old woman in a dream last night too. So what the hell that's about?
Does Markstrom leave the Canucks?
I would have said no before the playoffs, but now I don't know. If he wants too much money, yes. If he wants too much term, then probably. It leaves Jim Benning trying to figure out the backup spot. If Markstrom leaves and they decide Demko's the starter, I think Demko's shown he can be a starter in the NHL. I have it at 50-50 that Markstrom sticks around. I think they can afford him, but I don't know that they necessarily are going to.
He's
pawing at you?
Yeah.
What do
you listen to Spit and Chicklets?
On occasion, I hear some of the highlights of their podcasts and snippets here and there. I don't even do my own podcast. So I don't know now that I've got the website, that's going to have to change. So the plan is to start doing that a little more often than not. So
then once every couple months.
I always mean to do it, and then it just doesn't. So this time I have to, now that we've got the website, THG.yt.com. Thanks, Adam. And so there you go. See, I can self-promote. Just fine. Yeah, there you go.
Shannon's not good at self-promoting.
I'm terrible at self-promoting.
Really is.
I need to have too on the site, like links for all of the affiliations I have for like bench clearers, for elite prospects, for all that. So I'm gonna have to get back to Adam on that one. Let me know when you talk to him. What? No, this is a live stream. Right? This is a live stream.
Adam's on here. I saw him.
I don't think you did.
I did too, because he was talking about his poor naked kitty.
I think you're making stuff up. These paper straws are awesome, except they just break. I don't need that on. Yeah.
Okay.
The ones from A&W are just not very good. Well, they're not coated. There's no coating.
No.
Some of them have a coating, and these ones don't. No. They're just paper.
No.
Paper doesn't work. I'm fine with not killing the environment, but
I just don't use
paper straws. Paper straws are not great if they don't have a coating on
them. Do you think the Canes, where to go? Canes have a chance with Braden Holtby?
They would be in the Braden Holtby hunt, I would think. I also have them drafting Askarov in the draft this year. I think they're the most obvious pick for a goaltender, earliest in the draft.
Cereal straw?
I could see Calgary though being a front runner for Holtby. Calgary's the one that to me makes the most sense if they can find the cap space for him.
What's a cereal straw? A cereal straw? That sounds terrible.
It doesn't. I don't know. Rice straw? I don't know. No idea.
Why do you dislike the Habs? He's done videos on that.
I have. I've discussed that.
Lots
as a Bruins fan, it's against the rules to cheer for the Habs. Yeah, Pixel's in her bed. You would have heard her scratching in her bed this morning during the news video.
We have all 4 cats right here. Yeah. 1, 2. Oh, there's Lilybell. 3.
Pixel's
4.
in her bed.
They're sold as.
And I had to get 2 of the circular beds.
Made a cereal and coated the inside with icing. Ooh, that'd be why I don't know what they are. That sounds terrible.
It doesn't sound good for my diet soda. I try to drink diet drinks.
Oh.
So.
Sounds gross. Okay. Keep it up, my man. Also, suck it. Kirk Muller Island never forgets.
Wanna come up? All right. I was going to pick up Lilybell.
Frederick Anderson gets traded. Lilybell always says no to being picked.
I don't think Anderson's going anywhere. I think that it's a news cycle for Toronto that I think that's the obvious target for some fans, and because they couldn't score, so clearly that's the goalie's fault. Not the $40 million players they got for their top 4. If they trade Anderson, I think it'll be a mistake. If the rumors that they're after Matt Murray and then Anderson ends up going out, if they make that move, I think it's a downgrade in net. I think it would be a mistake.
Did I make this top? Of course I did.
She makes all of her tops. She even made this jersey. This was really nice.
Coraline, because Coraline's awesome. And I made it so it has the ties and button fabric.
She made this jersey and she sewed it with the tears of children. And
don't listen to him.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay,
and then she put the Adidas tag on the back because, you know.
Have you ever watched any hockey in the UK? If so, which teams?
I haven't. I've got a couple
access to that.
I have a couple of UK jerseys, but I haven't watched the hockey from the UK. Once the NHL's done, I'm going to have to start watching some KHL and some other leagues and following some of the other stuff going on because we don't know when the NHL's coming back. So might as well follow the European leagues and see what's going on.
Is
you all caught up?
Joel Edmondson good?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Joel Edmondson's a good player. I liked him in St. Louis. I liked him in Carolina. I'm kind of surprised Carolina's moving on, but they've got a lot of defensemen, and he's earned himself a decent chunk of money. So Montreal has the cap space. I think it's an upgrade on their top 4. And, I think things will be good.
Do you read your Instagram inboxes?
Oh, yeah, there's so many message requests. And on Twitter and Instagram and
here's
Facebook.
The thing, guys. Okay, I'm going to explain it.
It's 160,000 people.
If you really want to contact Shannon, send an email. Really, send an email. I am able to check about a third of the Facebook messages. None of the Instagram messages get checked. None of the Twitter message gets checked. None of the Discord messages get checked to him. If you send me a Discord message, I will absolutely see it because that's when I don't get bombarded.
She logged into my Discord and she's like, holy crap.
His Discord's overwhelming because he gets tagged a message so much.
Yeah.
If you actually want to message Shannon,
it gets crazy.
Either message me on Discord.
I used to try to keep up, but eventually I was like, I can't keep up with this. I can't.
Send a Facebook message to the Hockey Guy Facebook. No guarantees, though. Same with an email. Again, no guarantees. We get so many messages every day, and I really try to get to as many of them as I can.
Because she's a nice person.
But there are so many messages, and there's only so many.
It's like I'm the doctor. I'm the doctor. She's Clara.
So I really try. But yeah, if you send him a message in Instagram or in Twitter, he will never see it because he doesn't even open it because he has way too many messages.
One of my favorite Doctor Who quotes ever is the Doctor with Clara when he says, "This is Clara. She's my carer. She cares, so I don't have to." And I thought that was Peter Capaldi being Peter Capaldi, and I thought that was absolutely a great quote. So, in some instances, Yvonne is my carer.
But yeah, so if you actually want to get a hold of Shannon, that's how to do it and how not to. But yeah, we get so many messages every day, crazy. and sometimes I feel really bad. We cannot get to everything, and sometimes I will check them. So if you do send a message, it's generally me reading it. I will a lot of times send it to Shannon, or I'll come talk to Shannon and I just post or put my phone
She'll
on,
needle me.
Talk to text, and he just talks to my phone.
If it's a jersey question, we'll sometimes talk it through together.
Yep.
Especially if somebody's saying, is this real or not, then we'll talk it through together.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the deal. That's how you contact us and how not to.
Yep.
Serious question. Is Kucherov a dirty player or the dirtiest player? Pick one.
Kucherov reminds me a lot of Malkin. Very intense player. I don't know if I want to cross the line and say dirty. I think as the games get more important, his intensity level picks up and he gets careless sometimes with his stick and sometimes just with his general play. He does cross the line. Malkin crosses the line too. And it's just as part of his game, and it's a trade-off that Tampa Bay makes in having him in the lineup. And you always hope that the reward makes it worth the risk. There is going to always be that risk that he could get suspended for something he does in a game.
And did I miss a super chat? Hold on, I'm looking. Somebody asked who your favorite.
So.
No, somebody said I did. I will look. Somebody asked who your favorite doctor is.
Oh, my favorite doctor is the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, because he's cranky and he's old and he's Scottish and he's fun.
I found it. Backup options if Marky walks.
The backup options would be either is DiPietro ready? My guess is probably not, but we'll see whether or not the Canucks think he's ready. The other options would be Hudobin's asking price is going up with each round. Maybe Grice. Maybe Grice would be willing to come in for less money than Markey would get. And his contract's up with New York, and I think the Islanders are going to go with Sorokin as the backup next year. Grice could be a nice one just to bridge the gap until DiPietro's ready.
Can you do a history video this offseason? A video?
Oh, there'll be a
Shannon
series.
Does a bunch, yeah.
There'll be a series. Once the regular season and postseasons are done, normally that's when the series start. Just with the pause, I had to do the series in March, April, and May, and now I'm gonna have to start brand new series in October, and so there'll be historical series in there as well, and a lot of career videos.
I meant more. Well, he will definitely do more. That's what he does during off seasons. He does a lot more of the history videos. Where do you work?
This is it. I could do an updated 100 years of NHL history. I could start with the first year of NHL history and go all the way till now.
Didn't you already do that?
Yeah, I could do it all over again. Because, sure, why not?
I think more people would watch it this time.
More than 200?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, people weren't really watching it the first time, but
I had to browbeat people at meetups.
I wanted him to do because I find that stuff interesting.
I was browbeating people at meetups. Like, all right, which one of you guys watched it? Well, we all watched it. No, you didn't.
What you lied.
I got a view cat right here telling me you guys didn't all watch it.
Yes, that's how that works. What do the Canucks need for next season?
Depth. They need to maybe remodel the blue line a bit, and they need that forward depth. You look at Tampa Bay and the Islanders, they roll four lines that are so good. And Vancouver hasn't been able to do that. Now, if they can keep Toffoli and if they can clear some cap space to do it, then they get into the conversation. But the experience will help, but they definitely need more depth and a bit of a revamp on the blue line.
Well, the AHL and ECHL start regardless of when the NHL does.
AHL and ECHL are heavily reliant on attendance and attendance revenues. So for them to exist and to flourish, they're going to need an influx of money from the NHL or from sponsors. And it's going to be a real challenge for them. I would think they'd push their season back. Because if I'm an NHL team and the AHL team starts playing a month before I do, well, that doesn't really work for me come end of the season when I want these guys to be in game shape. And now their season's over already. So if the NHL backs up its season to January, I would think the AHL and the ECHL would back up to start in lockstep with the NHL.
The first 100-year NHL videos are very cool. I would enjoy an updated series. There you go. See, one person would watch them. You're good.
I enjoyed doing them. I did. And it was fun to have the boards for that, but eventually it became more of a challenge.
Right. Because
there were like 30 teams and getting them all onto one board and having everything that happened during the season on that board got more and more of a challenge. I definitely have more books for it now.
Do you think that the Kings can bounce back next season?
Yes. The Kings, I think, have bottomed out. I think they're going to start getting better next year. That draft pick is going to be huge. Whether they draft Stutzler or Byfield, that player's going to be ready. That player's going to be good to go.
There's people encouraging you to talk about stupid stuff on here. I see you.
Which part of stupid stuff?
No. Nope. Should Tampa look to trade Stamkos? See, because if I tell you, then you'll start talking.
See, Stamkos, I think what we've seen is Tampa Bay can win without him. I don't think you have a trade value for Stamkos until he's healthy. And when he's healthy, I don't know that you have a desire to trade him if you're Tampa. So that's where things get interesting.
Yes, stupid stuff. Bunch of troublemakers on here today. All right. Do you think Point's injury ruins his Conn Smythe run? Right. Also, do you think the Habs take third in the Atlantic Division over the Leafs next season? I don't know.
I would have to know what the Leafs are going to do in the offseason. I think the Leafs should be able to bounce back and solidify a top 3 spot. Boston could fall back. Boston could absolutely fall back. As for Conn Smythe, if Point comes back in the next game, I don't think it affects him at all. If Point's out for a while, then yeah. Then Hedman, I think, might very well take over, or Vasilevsky for Tampa. Vasilevsky might get my vote anyways right now. He's been kind of low-key leading the way through, and he'd won 6 in a row before last night's game, and he had excellent numbers. So Vasi might get my vote right now.
Is Michael Ferland getting terminated, or would they keep him around?
I think the plan is to keep him around, and I think the plan, too, is that if he's not physically able to play, I think he'll just end up on the long-term injured reserve.
Oh,
so back in 1812.
Yeah, see, I knew there's so many of you posting it now that I knew he'd start seeing it. Who can Hoglander and Pods replace on the Canucks roster right now?
They would replace... Well, it frees them up to move somebody. I would think that Pearson and Toffoli of the current roster, if they kept Toffoli around, would go. Pearson, I would think, is an automatic to go. And, I mean, other than that, they would just push somebody else down in the lineup. I put Colson's legit top 6. I don't know if Hoglander is going to be above the third line. But it's that depth they need.
Would you ever do an unsung hero video series or something along those lines in the, albeit small, off season?
I've done off.
TBL vote would be Kernack. Love your content.
I've done unsung heroes for each team. I've done videos on that before. Underrated players. I try to get through that. I don't do like the overrated. I try to stay out of the negativity side of things. There's enough people covering the negative side of things as it is. But yeah, I can do something like that.
Kitty reenactment hockey. That would be bad. There'd be lots of scratches. Which free agents end up in Boston? I know the kitties don't scratch me.
I don't know how much space the Bruins have for free agents. If Krug moves on, I think they'll make a play for Pietrangelo. I don't know if they have enough money to throw at Pietrangelo. I think that Boston, sadly, is at a point. It's sadly for me because I'm a Bruins fan, happily for everybody else. I think Boston's time as a contender might be coming to an end, and they might want to consider a retool along the Rangers lines.
Shadow's just giving everybody a show. So you're welcome. Who do you think Lafreniere?
And then he turns back. See, like that.
Hey,
must face camera.
Who do you think Lafreniere should play with?
I would put Lafreniere on the same line with Zibanejad and then Profit. I think the two of them together with Lafreniere skating and his passing and the finishing that Zibanejad has. Not that Zibanejad's not a good passer as well. Those two together could be absolutely fantastic.
Are we tennis fans? We do like to watch tennis.
Yes, and Jeannie Bouchard got to a finals. About time that she started getting that going again, because I've been a fan of Jeannie Bouchard's for a long time, and I kind of lost faith. So I'm glad she finally started winning something again, and hopefully that happens a little more often.
Who will be the big name in the Seattle expansion draft?
Tyler Johnson's probably their target. But the biggest name is going to be a goaltender, and I think it's probably going to be somebody we don't know now. Like, we didn't really think necessarily Fleury was going to end up in Vegas a full year before it happened. I would think that probably by roughly halfway through the year, we'll have a good idea of which goaltender is going to end up probably being the Marc-Andre Fleury for the Seattle Kraken.
Hockey trip to Toronto next season.
Oh, travels.
Oliver, I know.
Miss travels.
All of our trips are kind of being delayed. We had trips scheduled for this
smoke's
year.
Making me on.
I know it's exhausting. Like, it makes you feel really tired.
It is.
All of our trips were canceled for this year, so it's like everything's being pushed back. And Toronto is definitely one of those places we want to go.
Yep.
I think it'd be so fun to be able to go to like Hockey Hall of Fame.
And Space Needle.
He means the CN Tower.
I know what I mean.
He's a dork.
I know what I mean. They just ripped it off from Seattle. That's all they did. It's the same thing. It's just about 50 feet higher. Something like that. I think it's saying it's 50 feet.
Don't listen to him.
Oh, yeah, I meant to show you. I meant to show you on Legends
feet.
of Tomorrow. They made a futuristic city out of Vancouver. And what they did, and this is really funny, I meant to show you, is they took BC
World.
Place and they put like this futuristic looking shabobble on the top of it, where it looks like it's got this extra dome on top. And I was like, oh my God, that's such bad CGI. And you can see it's BC Place.
Yeah, always.
Holy crap. I was floored at how hilarious it looked. Here's a futuristic city. I'm like, why did they put that thing on top of BC Place? It's a stadium.
How Vegas-y will the Vegas third jersey be next season?
Gold. It's gold.
It won't have sequins on it.
It's gold.
So
I wanted sequins.
I know we might have had this talk.
I wanted rhinestones,
feathers,
and then they have to have like the full Elvis hair on top of the helmet, and then you're all set.
Do you believe in the Islanders?
I believe they exist.
Are real.
I believe they exist. I believe in Barry Trotz. I think a lot of what's going on with the Islanders shows just how solid a coach Barry Trotz is and how well he coaches the team. And I think Washington struggles to get out of the first round since he left. These things are related.
I saw a rumor that the Caps wanted Chris Letang. Do you think that can happen?
He's available, and there's definitely been a situation where players have gone from one city to the other, as weird as that sounds. But who do you know better than the team you're always playing against in the playoffs? Vancouver and Calgary used to have that too, where you'd regularly see Canucks ending up in Calgary, Flames ending up in Vancouver. It just makes sense because your general manager sees those guys a lot. They know what they're getting.
Adam wants all of your THG Hall of Fame entries. I think there's a playlist.
There's a playlist.
Can you make it a playlist?
There's a playlist.
Ta-da, playlist.
Yeah.
Where am I? Will Fleury become the new San Jose Sharks goalie?
You know, it sounds funny, but I could see San Jose being in on it.
Meltdown.
I could see San Jose being in on him because they definitely will be looking to replace Aaron Dell. And if it's a short-term thing, they have some cap space. That might work for them. And then maybe you don't trade Jones, or maybe that makes it easier to trade Jones if you have Fleury. It would be entertaining. I could just hear the screams now, but it would be entertaining if he ended up in Vegas or in San Jose from Vegas.
Love the content and the channel. Helps me during these depressing times.
It's been a year. 2020's been a year. I even think that once this year's done, I think we're just going to take it out of the history books altogether. The last time we took a year out of the history books.
No. Okay. Anyways, next question. So somebody asked,
back in 1812,
team most needs a third jersey?
Detroit needs a third jersey.
What about Habs?
Montreal could use a third jersey.
And Vegas, of course, needs one.
Vegas is getting one. So. But Detroit was supposed to get one, I thought, this year, and there were rumors of it, and then it didn't happen. Montreal would be fantastic. They could do a throwback, not the barber pole. They could do a throwback of some sort. But yeah, Detroit would be my vote for a team that I'd like to see them do something really fun, even if it's a throwback, something really fun for their third.
Can you bring back the finalist series?
Yeah, I normally update that after the season. But I can do something on that. Maybe I'll do the conferencist, and there'll be the teams that lost in the conference finals. I'll call the conferencists. I'll make up a new word.
Sounds really intelligent.
Conferencists.
Can you do a list of your favorite goal songs for all 31 teams?
I don't really have a huge opinion on the goal songs.
Yeah.
Other than Holiday should be the goal song for Vancouver. Right. It should always be a goal
when
song.
We talk about 1812. So he will just go on, and then once you start him, then the rest of his stream is Shannon saying stupid crap, and you guys all encourage him. Oh my gosh, when we were doing the Patreon Zoom, then he could hear people giggling, and when he hears people giggling, that encourages him entirely too much, and then he's just on his whole.
See, the problem is
No.
You don't
Anyways.
understand 1812 because so back in 1812.
Okay. No, I'm not reading.
Okay, so
that.
Gary Bettman.
What's going on?
I should go back to
Markstrom
1796.
and Demko.
Well, they're negotiating with Markstrom. They're negotiating with Markstrom. I think the plan is to keep Markstrom at a reasonable rate. If the rate isn't reasonable, Demko becomes the starter, and you look for a backup somewhere else.
Should I'm Still Standing be Vancouver's song?
That's the song after you win.
Yeah, that's different.
That's the song after you win. That's the song that I honestly I sing that now when they win hockey games. That's probably the best song they've had. And then after they lost, I might have been looking sad and saying, I'm not standing.
Yeah. It's way too early to do a Seattle mock draft.
It is. Seattle mock drafts will be more pertinent after we get through the entry draft, once we get through all the trades about that, and once we get through free agency. Once we're through that, then I'll be able to do a mock draft where it's a better idea of what we'll probably be looking at.
Do you think Ottawa can win a cup in the next 5 years?
Anybody can win a cup in 5 years. But Ottawa, they're going to have all these young guys coming out of this draft to go with all the young guys they already have. Now it's a matter of finding the right veterans to lead them. So Pierre Dorian's job gets a lot tougher. That now that they're supposed to start getting better, he has to have the right veterans to do that. That's why I'm surprised Borowiecki isn't going to be sticking around. Did
the Sedins make the right decision, stay in Vancouver rather than to chase a cup after their prime years?
Yeah, I respect it. I respect their decision. I also respect the Canucks' decision to keep him when they could have let him go and spent $12 million somewhere else. I had a hard time with it at that point. I would totally have understood if the Canucks had moved on, but you know, I'm glad they spent their entire careers in Vancouver and they're still prominent in the city itself. So yeah, it was the right call.
Is a Kraken mascot going to be a squid? Well, that wouldn't make sense. It needs to be a Kraken.
But it has to have ink in its hands.
Has to be able
to ink other fans. So right in the face, just big old black ink. That'd be great. He can be Inky the Kraken. Yeah, Inky the Kraken, and then when Oily the oil can comes into town, they can have like fights. That'll be great.
Why are the old live streams not on the channel?
I took them all down. When we had that live stream that got taken down, I thought, okay, I don't know how chintzy they might get. Right. I don't know what might be in one of the other live streams. So I'm just going to be on the safe side because they can then investigate the rest of the channel.
Could hear like a little bit of background noise.
If it's just you can hear the TV and we heard that. So I didn't know how far they might go with it. So I thought, no, I'll just take them all out. I'll throw off Social Blade and make it think that I've made no money. Yeah. And that my really channel's dead. It throws off all of the measurement sites that tell you the channels.
It's kind of funny.
I kind of knew that was going to happen because it just looks at view counts and it goes, so it dropped like 8.5 million views off my channel with that. So
never heard you talk about the Quebec Nordiques.
I've talked about the Quebec Nordiques. I've done videos on the Nordiques. I've done videos on how they didn't move because of low attendance. They didn't move because they weren't getting support. They moved because they were a badly run organization. The Canadian dollar was in the toilet and they needed a new building. And I think if they'd had different ownership, maybe they could have got that new building. But they end up moving to Denver instead.
Do you get paid for live streams or just donations? It works just like other videos.
There's ads, and there's super chats, and that's how the live streams work. The live streams, the draft live streams have been basically really, really popular on this channel, so it was tough for me to remove them, but I thought, no, I'm just going to take all that out, and we'll start fresh. And the draft live streams have been very popular to the point where afterwards I'm like, okay, good, because your numbers die during the off season. So the draft and free agency, keep them up for that week. And that can kind of help you coast through the rest of the off season. I know I've done that where I've coasted through. I remember last August, it was bad, but because July 1st had been free agent day and June 24th, I think it was the draft. Those days were big enough that it helped make up for the rest of those months.
Right. Worst food at Rogers. We don't eat at Rogers.
I really don't eat at Rogers. It's too expensive.
It's expensive.
So, although we've done the white spot there, didn't we?
You did once.
Yeah.
I don't eat at games. Sometimes I'll get a tea.
There's Timmy's there.
Yeah, I'll get the tea at Timmy's, but that's it.
I don't drink at sporting events or before sporting events or at concerts.
I do. I'll get tea.
No fluids at all. That way I can stay in my seat.
The cat? Which one? That one or that
chill.
one or that
They're
one
all chill.
or that one. They're all Pixel's sleeping with her head upside down.
Lilybell was getting hassled by the boys this morning, so she came down here.
Did I miss a super chat? I didn't see one. I'll look.
What did you do?
I think I missed one. Sometimes they don't pop up. Don't stop it. See, they're gonna think I'm having like a seizure or something.
Yeah, think. Right. Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm looking. No, I don't see it.
No, I see that one.
I really don't see
and there's I'm Still Standing. I know it's that one. Yeah, no, I see it. We're good. I think. Okay, now there's one that just came up.
But that's a different person. I don't see it. Sorry, maybe it didn't go through. What do you think of the Edmondson trade to Montreal from Carolina?
I'm kind of surprised that it was just a 5th rounder, but you're just trading for his rights. So I was surprised it wasn't more, but Carolina probably called around to see what teams were willing to offer, and that was probably the best offer they got. If he signs in Montreal, it's a good move. I like Joel Edmondson. I think he's a good player. I think he's the kind of defenseman that Montreal could use. Their defensive depth. Maxime Ouellet was probably playing a little more than I would have liked for Montreal's blue line. So yeah, I think it's a smart move for Bergevin. There really isn't any risk.
My wife says she digs the button sleeve fabric. Good choice. Thanks. I like it too. I thought it went really well with Coraline. Cause buttons. Anyways.
Creepy movie.
That movie's fantastic.
I'm not saying it's not fantastic.
I like that movie. It's one that Adelaide refuses to watch with me.
I remember watching that one.
Which the kids don't like Coraline, but they love 9. Isn't 9 creepier than Coraline? But maybe not because Coraline is dealing with kids and trying to take their
9
eyes.
really isn't. Yeah, so, Coraline's a little creepier than 9, just a little bit.
She turns into the
spider. That's it's a little bit. There's nothing nightmare inducing with 9.
Who do you think is more likely to make the playoffs first between the Sens, Sabres, or Red Wings next season? Really unrealistic question, but okay.
With the right veterans, if they can add the right players, the Senators could be a huge, huge surprise. But they need to upgrade their goaltending a bit, and they would need to have that depth. But with what they're going to add with the numbers 3 and 5 draft pick, if they add 2 guys that can play next year, look out.
Okay, there's a few people that say it's a creepy movie. It's a good movie.
Coraline's a very creepy movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
Not dyeing my hair green under any circumstances. Not doing green.
But I had a song ready for that.
Not doing green. Me and green would not work. I'm kind of really pale, and me and green don't go together well. Will the Canucks try to trade Seattle someone so they don't take Markey or Demko, or is it best, or are they better off keeping Demko and signing a veteran goalie? There we go.
Honestly, I don't know that Markstrom would be the best goalie available either. There's going to be a lot of really good goaltenders available. Markstrom may not be the best guy available. I think you make the move now with trying to keep Markstrom. And, if it doesn't work out, Demko appears to be ready. I don't know what Seattle will be looking for, though. I think you kind of roll the dice on that. If you lose Markstrom a year from now, all right. But you have to look at this season coming up and try to put the best team on the ice. You want to show advancement, not falling back next year.
Okay, this one needs a little bit of translation too. Okay, I think it's if OV goes FA, where do you see him going? Also, what do you think Ron Francis
what he's doing all day because he's in Seattle? They're having regular meetings with their professional scouts. and scouting staff. They're discussing what they're looking for in players. They discuss players that they have scouted. They're doing mock drafts already in Seattle, and they're trying to figure all of that out. Ovechkin, I would think if this contract runs out, if he does decide to go somewhere else, he'll go somewhere to win. All he's going to be worried about is the Stanley Cup. The money is not an issue now. I think it's going to be about a Stanley Cup.
Do you think the Capitals will hire Babcock?
I think it'll be Laviolette. I'd be kind of surprised if it wasn't Peter Laviolette.
If the Whalers were owned by someone other than Peter Carmenos, would they still have left Hartford?
Yes. Hartford's problem was the building. Hartford's problem was the building they were in just was not an NHL level building. They were in a mall. So it doesn't work being in a mall. You have to have a really good arena if you're going to support an NHL team.
Do you think Barzl and Barry get too much credit for what the Islanders do well, and that the other players don't get the credit from the media?
I think Pellick's underrated. I think Pullock's underrated. I think that there are some underrated parts on this team. I think sometimes Eberle gets overrated. The general gist of it, though, is this. The credit for what's going on with the New York Islanders, to me, is Lou Lamoriello. He brought in Barry Trotz. He gave him a roster that could win. Barzal deserves tons of credit for the fact that he's bought in and that he has sacrificed some of the offensive numbers he would have got with another franchise in order to be part of this rolling four lines, playing a more defensive style of game. Barzal's really bought in. So I think Lou Lamoriello deserves a ton of credit. If it wasn't for Lou being there, I don't think Trotz ends up there. And I don't even know if the Islanders would be a playoff team.
What do you think about Pajot? He has a lot of goals this playoffs.
Pajot's been fantastic, and he showed last night why Pajot is so useful and he's worth the money. He's filling in for Cizikas on the fourth line, but he can play third line, and if need be, he can play on the second line. He's got a good nose for the net. He can play at both ends of the rink, and there isn't anything the guy can't do.
Do you think the Rangers will win at least a cup at least in the decade? How many total cups will they win this decade, in your opinion?
The Rangers could. I mean, the thing for the Rangers, Shesterkin has to be the real deal. And it's going to be on the kids. It's going to be on Kakko. It's going to be on Lafreniere. Zibanejad's going to have to show that he can get him somewhere. Panarin's going to have to show that he can justify that pay. And where the rubber hits the road is going to be when Kakko and Lafreniere, when their contracts are up, their entry levels, and with all the other big contracts they have, being able to keep the whole team together. If they can, and again, if they have that depth that teams that are still playing right now have, the Rangers can absolutely win a cup. I don't know how many, but they can absolutely win one.
Our lease is here.
Oh, good.
There you go. I announced it this time.
That's good. She was, yeah, that was, remember last night when we were talking and it was about when I was trying to enlighten you on 1812, and then you just start smack talking Lisa out of nowhere. I was like, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Why are you trying to walk over my conversation?
It doesn't happen.
It does.
I wouldn't talk negatively about any of our female subscribers because they're few and far between, and they're rays of sunshine.
But if Mercedes from Love Island was a subscriber, I'm just saying.
Okay. Anyway.
So from Love Island.
Favorite Tool album? Yes.
Enema.
I was going to say Enema.
Enema. There was
when ranking Tool albums, which we do in our pastimes sometimes, Shannon's generally wrong. Just so you know. Okay, Yager said earlier this year he's considering retiring.
Yager. Yeah, Yager should probably hang it up. I can't see him being back in the NHL. I think it's great that he went home and he played, and he's played as long as he has, but yeah, it's probably that time. Really? Enema Lateralis.
See, I told you he's wrong.
10,000 Days.
He's
the new one.
The new one.
Well, no, the new one I really haven't.
He hasn't listened to it a whole lot.
I've listened to it,
but not very much.
And then after that, at the bottom.
See, this is where he's wrong. He really underrates Undertow.
Oh yeah, Undertow,
which is fantastic.
But see, it's right in the title.
No. I think Undertow is fantastic, but that might have been like the soundtrack to my high school. So I might have listened to it all the time. I did listen to a lot of Undertow, and I listened to a lot of Bush and Everclear and Marilyn Manson.
So Undertow's at the bottom.
No, it's not. Don't listen to him.
Because it's not as good
as
other albums.
Since we all know that he's wrong. Okay, favorite bad movie. I already know what you're going to say.
Killer Clowns.
He loves that one.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Amazon Women on the Moon. There's a movie that I got. I've got the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray so we can watch together, which is Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. Looking forward to that. It
doesn't even sound like a real movie.
Oh, it's a real movie, and you're going to enjoy it. And then we'll do the review on the Entertainment Guy. That's going to be great.
Which team in the Pacific will have the biggest pressure next year to go far in the playoffs?
In the Pacific, Oilers. Oilers are going to have a lot of pressure next year. The expectation is going to be, okay, that's enough of the choking thing. You guys need to take that next step. You've got Draisaitl, you've got McDavid. You need to show progression.
What kind of contract will Barzl get this offseason?
I don't think Barzal's going to get as much money or term as might have been expected. I think he'll still end up in probably the $8 million range, although he could end up with 10 if somebody jumps up and says, I'm Mark Bergevin, I'll give you an offer sheet. I don't think he's going to get as much, but I don't think he'll get as much term. I think we'll see a lot of guys signing short-term contracts, expecting that after that contract expires, the economy will be back to normal and they'll be able to make more money.
Oh my goodness, no.
I don't know that I'm secretly a Bon Jovi Ultra fan.
Shannon does like Bon Jovi, and I think it's crap.
I sang a slow...
Oh, it was terrible.
Slow, depressing version of You Give Love a Bad Name. Because when we're watching Love Island, they take all these songs from the 80s and they play these slow covers that just makes them depressing, crappy songs. So I proved you can do that to You Give Love a Bad Name. Yeah. I sang the whole first verse in the chorus to her as slowly and as depressingly and as melancholily as possible. Awful. It was so sad. But it totally
fit with all the crappy music they do.
So sad.
On Love Island. Yeah, they do. I know I was just making sure there weren't some...
Love Island's great. If you don't watch it, and I know that video got almost no views on the Entertainment Guy. I don't care. It's a great show. Yeah, it's a great show.
About how these people are ridiculous.
It's great.
But at least the narrator's really
funny. The narrator is absolutely the highlight of the show.
Okay. Do you think Henrik Lundqvist made peace with the idea of never winning a cup, and any players who signed big contracts who regret signing it because of the cap hit?
I remember Luongo saying his contract sucks. And I guarantee there are other players who've thought that over the years. And I don't think Lundqvist has any regrets. I think it's like the Sedins. They don't have any regrets staying in Vancouver. If Lundqvist retires a Ranger, I think he'll say he had a successful career with or without a Stanley Cup ring.
Where do you expect the Sens to end up tomorrow?
Where are they going tomorrow? Are they moving?
What are they doing tomorrow?
The Sens, I would expect this year to get better. This upcoming season, they'll get better. I don't know how much.
Who would win a War of 1812, Bettman or our new website?
Well, Bettman runs the new website. That's the part that I don't know if I'm allowed to mention or not. But yeah, Bettman's in charge of anything. Is this
a hockey channel?
Related.
Not when it's a live stream. Because people ask us about movies.
This is what happens when games are on anyways.
Music.
So this way there's no game on. I have to worry.
I know.
And we're just talking about the same crap we talk about but I don't have to take notes.
The one that we got the copyright strike. I was like, if they go back and watch it, they'll see that we were just talking about food most of that live stream. Yeah. We weren't even talking about the darn game.
That's part of what made me mad, where I was like, man, I just forget it. I don't need to do live streams during games. I need to do that. I don't get to take notes anyways.
Reality TV like Love Island is just awful, utter garbage. It is
so fun.
See, okay.
It is so fun though.
So before Shannon, I never watched any reality shows because I think they're all crap.
Yep.
I hate what's the singing one?
Oh,
it's awful.
Yeah, American Idol's gone.
Yeah, American Idol, is it?
It's gone.
It's terrible. I hate those shows. I'd never watched Big Brother. I still think that's weird.
I love Big
Shannon
Brother.
Likes reality TV.
Love
Some
Big
of
Brother.
them I find interesting, like from the sociology
which
point
is
of
where
view.
Love Island comes in.
Yes. So that one it's interesting in that aspect if you think of it that way. But yeah, it is absolutely crap. But right now, I get super stressed by everything.
The news.
TV and news, and even some TV
weather.
shows are really hard to watch right now because
everything is just,
it's just so much. And so Shannon puts on things that don't require any thinking or stress. And so
nailed it.
Yeah, he puts on fun cooking shows and now some of these just goofy reality TV.
Love Island's the show that we need that we didn't know we needed.
And since they can't really make a lot of shows right now,
I swear though, if Johnny breaks Sally's heart, I'm going to be upset. I don't want Johnny to break Sally's heart. I'm just throwing that out there. She seems like a very nice girl, and Johnny was kind of being Johnny, and I don't know. We'll see.
We haven't watched the sequel to Babysitter yet.
No, that's on my watch list. So that's a plan. I'm thinking about delaying that for when we start doing our October movies.
For all the sane people, thank God the Kardashians are gone. I had no idea that was still a show. I've never seen the show.
I tried once and I was like, I can't. This is not good TV.
I've never seen it. I honestly thought it was I knew it was a show.
It's
but
staged.
I thought they just did like 1 or 2 seasons.
No,
like,
it kept going, and it is so shamelessly staged.
I had no idea.
It's one of those reality shows that you can tell that's not real. That's not genuine. That's staged. Yeah, and it just takes you right out of it.
Do you watch The Amazing Race? That is one reality
Amazing Race
show
is fantastic. Amazing Race is fantastic.
That's yes, I forgot about that one.
It's not Big Brother fantastic, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, because it's actually good. I do.
Are you kidding me? When Davon had that fight with Christmas, that was fantastic TV. And then Bailey's jumping in and they're all screaming at each other.
No, it's ridiculous.
That was insane. That was intense.
No. Bachelor or Bachelorette? No.
No, I don't watch Bachelor.
No, I'm really not. No, I've watched one episode of
the Kardashians. It gets weird. Kardashians.
See, okay, this is so not my thing.
No.
I still feel the loss of brain cells. That's the kind of thing I say. No, I am so not a reality show
Love Island
person.
Just for the narrator.
There were some that we've watched that after one episode, I was just like, no, these people are horrible people. Nope. Yeah, there have been a few. Remember that? I'm really not a reality show person.
No. Survivor eventually got like that for me. Where I couldn't root for anybody. If I rooted for them, they were out right away. I was like, man, I just can't do this. I like Boston Rob, but then they kept bringing him back every year because they had to bring back Boston Rob for ratings.
Yeah, I don't. Nope, this is not my thing. See, this goes back into the whole. I don't know people.
Pop culture. She's not a pop culture person.
I don't know all these musicians.
I know some
say, and I'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Who's this actor?
I know more than she does. I don't know a lot of it too, though.
I don't at all. Not my thing. Do you think the Oilers will win a cup while McDavid and Draisaitl are there? Oilers fan here. Be honest.
I hope so. I genuinely do. I want to see Canadian teams win at least a couple of Stanley Cups so we can stop having that conversation. And I would like to see Connor McDavid at some point lift a Stanley Cup. I think that would be nice.
RuPaul's Drag Race. I like that one.
Yeah, see? And you're talking about my shows being trashy and you love Drag Race.
It's fun. They make fun clothes and whatever.
Well, why aren't my shows fun?
Because the people are horrible to each other.
I've watched a couple of
weird
Drag
things
Race.
They say, and no, it's weird.
Wait, Drag Race, they got their own language.
Never seen it. I don't know. Shannon's, have you watched it or just watched it?
No, I've watched YouTubers talking about it.
When he was watching somebody talking about it, and it sounds absolutely horrible.
I'm Alex. I was watching an I'm Alex episode.
Horrible. I don't think I could watch that.
I was watching an I'm Alex video, which is going to surprise people that I watch I'm Alex, but I do. I enjoy I'm Alex. I think he's fun. He's a funny kid.
I don't think you watched the movie Dogma. Dogma's great.
Dogma's fantastic. Dogma is.
You don't have to pay to comment. What are you talking
about?
Good. Do you see all these people commenting?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your hair is awesome.
Thanks. People like to ask the same questions.
I have not watched Cobra Kai yet. I want to watch that though, because the idea of Johnny not being the bad guy, that's the Karate Kid TV show.
There's a Karate Kid TV show?
Oh my God, I talked to you about this the other night. See, the secret to marriage. The secret to marriage is that you don't listen to each other. Yeah, it's a series. It's a series that follows the same characters.
Super chat. That's what a super chat is.
Yes. The same characters.
Adam recommends Cobra Kai.
20 years later. Well, of course.
I had no idea it was a show.
I told you it was a show.
I didn't listen to that part of the sentence.
Told you. It's about Johnny and him starting up Cobra Kai again.
Oh.
And then Ralph Macchio's in it as well.
I'm not listening to Shannon equals smart lady. He kind of talks all day. I don't know if you guys noticed this.
So
all day.
Back in 1812, they had this debate.
See, and this is exactly where okay. What do the Bolts need to do better in Game 4? See, we get along great.
Tampa Bay played pretty well in Game 4. I think what hurt them in Game 4, or Game 3, I should say. I think what hurts them, without Point and Stamkos down the middle, that takes a ton of goals and a ton of scoring out of there. Tampa Bay, if they're going to be without Point, they kind of have to start playing the way the Islanders do. They have to cut down on shots against. They have to clog up the middle. They're going to have to play a trapping style a little bit more than they probably want to. And they're going to have to just, neutralize as many of the Islanders' top players as possible via defense, box them to the outside, and get into the trenches with them.
We haven't watched the new Bill and Ted yet.
No.
But we're going to.
That's the plan.
We need to watch the original ones with the kids first because I think the kids would find it entertaining.
Yep.
So, but we definitely plan on watching it because that's fun.
And then it counts as a history lesson for the kids too.
Totally counts.
Because it's 100% accurate. Napoleon was totally big on ice cream and water slides.
I barely remember the movie because
Socrates was the name he used.
That's about all I remember about that movie.
Billy the Kid. His last name was the Kid.
Have you ever watched Supernatural? Yes.
I have a crush on Jensen Ackles.
Yeah. I've been watching it every once in a while.
Dean is like my favorite male character in the history of TV. He is just absolutely the coolest.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you trade Tuukka?
No, and I don't think there's any desire in Boston to trade Tuukka. I don't think Tuukka Rask is going anywhere. I think the Boston Bruins are perfectly fine in net.
Have you ever watched Prison Break?
Do you know what was funny? So you didn't watch Prison Break, right? So on Legends of Tomorrow, one of the main actors on the first season is from that show. And then there's
what show?
Prison Break.
Okay.
So in one scene, they're trying to break into a prison and he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's not my first prison break." And I got a good laugh out of that. That's good. I wonder if they just wrote this episode where they're breaking into prison just so you could say, "It's not my first prison break." Because I thought that was a really good line in there. That was smart. It was one of the few jokes in the first season of Legends of Tomorrow where joking was apparently forbidden. Just there isn't any. Do
subscribers sell you jerseys? Not intentionally.
There have been jerseys I've bought, but again, it's through certain
buys
channels.
Jerseys on eBay, and then we find out that they're a subscriber. Right. But we don't generally have subscribers messaging Shannon saying, "Hey, I'm selling this one," because again, we get too many messages, and so we don't generally even see those. No, we don't generally do that. But he'll buy them on eBay, and then we'll find out that the person is a subscriber. So sometimes we'll give them like a discount or something, which is kind of awesome. Oh, sweetie, did he pick you up and you did not consent to it?
She's fine.
I did not say that you could pick me up.
She's fine.
How do you think Tavares feels with the Islanders' success?
I don't know if Tavares necessarily has any hard feelings. I think he'd be happy for them. Never seen anything to say that he wishes them any ill or anything like that. I think he's happy in Toronto. He's probably happy for what the Islanders have been able to do. I don't know that it would have happened if he'd stayed there.
She is a chunky kitty. She's is our chunky. And it's so funny. All of the kitties have the same food, the same access to food, but she's just
She just keeps the weight on.
And
Bear eats more than she does.
Ever since Lilybell was fixed, she used to be a very petite cat, and then she was fixed, and then she just kind of plumped up to the kitty ball that she now big boned. Yeah, because all those big skeletons we find. She's a chunky kitty, and she's such a sweet kitty.
She's a very nice cat.
She's my kitty.
She hissed when I picked her up because she could see shadow. She hates shadow.
There's a lot of pictures of her on the kitty's Instagram because she's always by me. She follows me everywhere, and everything I do, if I set anything down, she has to lay on it. And you're laying out fabric, and I'm going to lay on it. You're laying out a pattern. I need to go under it. So there's a lot of pictures of Lilybell because, yeah. Have you ordered your Velarde jersey?
I thought about doing that yesterday. The thing is, now Cool Hockey's got the 40% off. The thing is, I'll be able to get a Velarde jersey next year. I'll be able to get a Velarde jersey whenever. So if I'm ordering jerseys right now, I'm trying to get names that I otherwise wouldn't see on the site. So for old farts that you guys may not have even heard of that I cheered for when I was a kid. So... and then I've been exchanging emails as well with Ben on, where he gets his done and that kind of thing. So, I've got a couple of interesting ones. I even told her about one that I ordered and she's like, oh, of course. So,
I wasn't really listening to what you were saying.
The jersey I ordered and I told you the last name and you went, oh, of course you did.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a surprise. That's why I'm not telling in front of the channel. Because I wanted to see if I could hit the 15 letter mark, and I almost did with that last name. So, but yeah, Velarde, I can get that anytime. If I'm going to take advantage of a sale, I want to get custom made, and I want to get a throwback to somebody that I watched when I was a kid.
Would you ever do a stream on an outdoor rink? We've done so many videos at outdoor rinks where we're doing
the meetups.
Not streams though, because
we don't
that
have
would be
Wi-Fi.
Stupid amount of data.
Yeah, we don't have Wi-Fi.
Because we're in Canada, not in the States, where you guys get to do all of the data you want.
Yeah,
we don't have that here.
Nope.
We did do live streams for Brody Hintz, which wasn't outdoors; it was indoors, but that was playing hockey, where we did live streams.
Right.
Yeah, so we've done lots of videos where we're playing hockey. Can't wait to see your Demko jersey.
Me neither. That's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, cool. Broke the stream.
Anybody refresh? Yeah. No. Okay.
Batman 1812. I'm not seeing any. What are you doing? No, it's back.
Oh, did it
back? Yeah, it came back.
Okay, I was gonna.
I think it was on.
Text refresh.
I think it was on YouTube.
I think it was on YouTube's
end because it was all right here.
Yeah. All right.
So
well, welcome back.
Everything's fine. Seems like we're good.
I was just about to type in there refresh because sometimes it'll do that to people where it just keeps on going.
Yeah. So yeah, the triple layer 12. So, I just don't know triple layer how that's going to work with the Canucks where it's single layer. Right?
Is it?
Well, their current jersey is, yeah.
I don't know.
It's just one color. So I don't know. We'll see when I get it. And then with the other beautifulness that I've got on order, that that's a surprise. It's gonna be fun. That's fun. It's gonna make me. Come on, it's fun. Admit it's fun. Come on, it's fun. You were told not to bite. We had a discussion about that with the doctor.
You mentioned data against the wishes of your ISP overlords.
This is true. But yeah, it's expensive. Data's expensive in Canada.
Yes, it is.
Cell phones are expensive in Canada, comparatively speaking. To the States.
Yeah, compared to yeah, they've got those really cheap family plans where you get like another phone for $10. It's just silliness. I have a GTL's canvas photo. Can I send to you free?
If you send it, it has to go to the Canadian post office. If it goes to the American,
we won't see it forever.
I'm not going to get it.
Forever. And ever.
I'm not going to get it. And yes, unlimited data in Canada, you will get throttled. That's something that I know a friend of mine, he called about getting unlimited data. I don't think it was on Bell. I think it was one of the other ones. And the agent on the other end basically told him don't. the data is going to be so slow. There's no point. And he said, I was really glad they were honest, and I hope he gets a new job because they probably fired him for that.
Is Shannon afraid of chickens? No.
No, I didn't want to hurt those chickens. I didn't want them to freak out. I was worried that if I went to pick them up, they would freak out.
That little white one, I don't know if you can see in the video. I didn't watch the video, but that little white one
kept trying to stick her head through there.
I was so worried that they were going to hurt themselves by trying to run away. And
I know chickens aren't very intelligent.
Right. The little white one I was the most worried about. Yeah. She's so tiny compared to the others. And
the big orange one, though, when it flared its neck when it ran past me, that was funny. I'm going back over here. So, yeah, it wasn't that I was scared of them. I just didn't want to hurt them, and I didn't want to see them freak out. Yeah. So it's easier for her. She's gentle. She's a woman.
And I have an annoying voice. So
you do not have an annoying voice.
I heard my voice on that video. I even asked the kids. So the kids really wanted to watch the chicken video. It's like, oh my gosh, do I sound like that? And Malachi just, yeah. Oh man, my voice
I don't like my voice
awful. Either. And then Adelaide says, no, that's your voice when you're around cute animals. Okay, so my cute animal voice is really annoying, but I already knew I had an annoying voice, so.
I
do.
As of right now, who do I think wins the Stanley Cup? Tampa. I haven't changed my mind. Tampa.
Are you doing live streams during the draft and free agency?
Yes. That's the plan.
How mail is at your American P.O. box? I'm not sure.
There's basically mail. I know there's still mail coming into it. We do have somebody checking it.
Yeah, we mailed
we just don't have a way to get there. We don't have a way to get across the border and get it. Yeah. And for now, that's all just sitting in the States waiting for us to go down and get it. It's been there for over 6 months.
Yeah, at the very beginning of this, I mailed somebody our post office key. We only had a couple things that were sent back because the post office will only keep it for 2 weeks before they mail it back. But I mailed the key, and so we do have somebody checking our mail, and I've stopped getting. For us.
Most cases, I've stopped getting stuff sent there, except the Dick's Sporting Goods jerseys, which I couldn't not take. Because when jerseys are $5.
That's so ridiculous. I can't believe they sent those.
They did. And then what's weird is they double charged me, and then they refunded me one of the charges. So
I still
just I don't really understand what happened there either, but I think I came out ahead. I'm not sure. I come out ahead that way, right? They charge me twice, I get it back, but then so that way
it's still stupid.
It's you get something for free. So technically,
no, they were paying you to take the jerseys, even at like $20. They were
$20 for pasta. $20 for a Pasternak jersey. $5 for Sagan.
No,
$5
still going on. He checked it in the morning. They had fixed it. Apparently, they don't like selling jerseys for 95% off.
Huberdeau for $10. Carlson with the Sharks for $5. Kucherov for $5. And Philip Forsberg for $7.92.
You know he's going to be talking about this for years, right? Remember that time? Got that jersey for $5.
Oh, and they're all in my size, and they're all in Adidas. And I'm like, okay, well, sure, because that's less than it would charge than I would pay to get jerseys customized. $5. Good luck. You're going to come back with this be put on there with Scotch tape.
I can't even get fabric for that cheap. Like crappy fabric. I can't get crappy fabric for that cheap. Let me clarify.
I can't wait to see those and see if they're crap or what. I mean, it's only $5 for a jersey, so if they're not any good, oh well. So yeah.
What a random price. I know. They were
$7.92.
95% off.
$5.97. I think the Carlson was $4.97. I think that's how much it was for a Carlson. And it's the stealth jersey. It's the Shark stealth jersey.
So ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
Are there any teams in trouble financially with this current pandemic? And could they move?
Arizona's going to be in financial trouble. Florida's going to be in financial trouble. Florida's got a pretty good lease with where they're at. I don't think they move. I think what we see is I think it's going to be financial hardship for a couple of years. The NHL is going to have to bail out some teams. Players at some point, I'm not saying they're going to get asked to take a pay cut, but there's probably going to be some players that don't have contracts in upcoming seasons because teams just will have an internal cap, or with the cap not going up, they're not going to be able to afford certain players. It's going to be a tough next couple of years for the NHL. I think the NHL will do everything they can to make sure teams don't move. The only one that might be in danger of that would be Arizona.
Is Hughes the next Orr?
No, there isn't another Orr. Bobby Orr is Bobby Orr, and then there's everybody else. There's not another Bobby Orr.
I vote the NHL go back to white home jerseys.
Yep.
No. I vote that both teams can wear colors if they want, like they would get to kind of pick. That would be awesome.
White for home teams.
No, that would be great.
Done. I have put my foot down. I have said that is the way that goes.
You know, when they do their outdoor games,
we should do
being
that.
Colors, it looks fantastic.
No, white for home teams. She's wrong. So
I'm not wrong.
White for home teams.
I'm a girl. I know color things. Have you guys been watching the NBA playoffs? Nope.
No, I haven't really had the time. It's always on at the same time as the NHL.
I don't like white for home teams. See, but like when the Jets have the whiteout, I think it's really weird when the Jets themselves are wearing white.
So the other team comes out and goes, hey, look, the fans are cheering for us. They're all wearing our color jerseys today.
It's every single time. It's
white's also the color of surrender.
Nah, that doesn't bug me. But I think it would be really cool if it wasn't just when you're at home, you wear this color. When you're away, you wear this color. They can figure it out. Like with
figure it out.
Figure it out. But especially with most of the teams having a third. So you wouldn't end up having like both Leafs and Tampa wearing their blue jerseys. No. But you could have, say, Tampa played the Red Wings. How cool would that look having blue and red? Because we don't have to worry about people having black and white TVs so much. So
I don't know.
Not that. No,
I don't know. I think so. See what happened is
no. Okay. Anyway,
back in
back in 19 phones aren't black and white anymore. Okay.
Back in 1946.
Hey, thanks for telling me about cool hockey sale going on right now. Got a jersey I've been looking to get for a while at a great price.
You're welcome. And I had to take advantage. And I've talked to a number of people as well. Regarding different sales, and keep an eye on Dick's Sporting Goods website, because every now and then apparently they just decide to give jerseys away for almost nothing. And that's the second time I found that with their website. The first time I know I got the jerseys. This time we'll see if what I get is actually what I think I'm getting. I know all the sizes. I even double checked to make sure that this was legit what I was getting. We'll see what that looks like when I do that unboxing. It's kind of hilarious.
Do you think Saskatchewan could ever get an NHL team?
Logistically, I don't know that it works. I don't know that you have the population center that the NHL would be looking for.
Travel there for people would be really hard.
I'm not saying that it can't survive. I'm just saying from an NHL perspective, I don't know that they can be convinced to give it a shot. And I mean, I lived in Saskatchewan. I know people love hockey there and all that, but I just don't know that it works.
What do you think Henrik Lapierre
Hendrix Lapierre's?
Yeah.
It depends on whether or not he's healthy. If he's healthy, he could end up being a steal of the draft. Top 6 forward, pretty good all around player. Just the injuries hurt his standing this year.
Absolutely not to Saskatchewan, and that's coming from a guy in Winnipeg. Yeah, I don't know that they not only don't have the people in one metro area, but like for Vancouver, we drive to Vancouver for a game. Yep. There are areas that's not as easy. Like in Saskatchewan, that's not as easy, especially in winter.
Yeah, in January when it's minus 35. And
so I think
the roads are treacherous. You can't really drive on them.
And the wind.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes the roads that bad.
The horrible drifting. Yep. So I think that's where they would have.
I know when my friend Craig moved out to Saskatchewan, and he said he'd be driving.
Live in Vancouver.
He said he'd be driving, and he said he'd actually have to stop his car, and his friend would get out and make sure they were still on the road.
You have to when you're driving. You have to watch the reflectors.
He's like, I can't see that we're still on the road.
You can tell where the road is.
So
you have to watch for the.
Got to stop, and my buddy gets out. Yeah, you're on the road.
Still
keep driving.
No, you just watch the reflectors.
So that's a little different than here. Here, that doesn't really happen.
We don't have to have reflectors.
Not like that, no.
Wisconsin winters can be the same way. Buy a Tesla. Why?
I don't know.
We need a minivan.
Yeah, we have to have a mini.
Because we need to fit
so
all of the kids' crap. Try fitting 3 hockey bags in a Tesla.
Even just having a meetup, if we had all the hockey sticks and the bag.
I know, yeah. For meetups, we have hockey bag, goalie gear, 10
bunch
sticks.
Of hockey ball sticks, you name it. We bring a bunch of stuff with us just in case there's people that didn't bring sticks or whatever.
Jerseys and Yeah,
I usually have 2 or 3 tubs of jerseys, duplicates of the ones hanging behind me. So yeah, it tends to need a minivan.
Braden Point or Patrick Laine?
Point's the better player. Laine's the better goal scorer, but Point's the better player.
We do meetups when it's not the apocalypse.
Yeah. During every year before now, we had meetups in, locally. So like Coquitlam, we had one in Chilliwack last year.
Yeah, we do them about every 3 weeks when it's not hockey season.
Yeah. And then we had one in Vegas last year.
We do them when we travel.
We had one in Anaheim in January.
We did one in Seattle.
And we've done them in Seattle and Tacoma.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done meetups all over. This year it's just not
with
happening.
One person.
Yes, we did. Thanks for coming out, Richard. So that's probably him now.
Hey, you talked about me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we do meetups, but it's the apocalypse, so we don't see anybody.
Nope.
This is it for socialization.
That's basically it. Yeah, that's your phone.
Yeah.
It bedinged at you.
It always does.
Yeah.
It's the kids probably asking for their phones. Yeah. No.
It's pretty predictable.
Yeah, the kids are texting me from upstairs.
Yes.
Are you going to make a video about hockey movies or docs? Have you seen the Red Penguins doc?
I haven't seen the Penguins one yet. We watched the Russian 5-1 a few months back. I could do videos on that. Sure. I've got a whole bunch of books too that I can go through once we've got the Stanley Cup playoffs done. So
why would the Jets trade Laine? Nah. Isn't he the face of the franchise? No, he's
only way that Laine gets traded is if he wants too much money. So if it doesn't make cap sense,
I wouldn't call him the face of the franchise either.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, I think
disagree.
I think their best overall player is Scheifele. I still think Scheifele's the best all-around player for them. He's also the most consistent. Love Mark Scheifele, and I think he's the face of the franchise. Laine is a really good
disagree
scorer.
With that as well. He's become more consistent.
Well, he's a better all-around player this year than last year, but I would say that Scheifele is still a better player.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, Byfuglien. Dustin Byfuglien's just fantastic. He'll come back next year, and
he's not fantastic. He can stay home. No. Don't listen to Shannon.
And if you're honestly going to look for a face of the franchise, it's got to be Hellebuck right now.
Yes. Yeah. He's great.
Because he had a great year. So I would go with Hellebuck. So.
He's great. Does Laine pull a Slaney? I am always horrible at pronouncing that one. Come to Anaheim.
If Laine decides that he wants out or Winnipeg decides they want to trade him, there will be no shortage of trade partners. He'd be a good fit for Anaheim because they desperately need scoring, and they do have the defense that Winnipeg's looking for right now, so that might not be a horrible trade partner.
No love for Wheeler. Wheeler's great.
Wheeler's great, but he's older. He's older, so to me, the face of the franchise, I would go with Scheifele right now or Hellebuck. Wheeler's probably coming up to the end of his more productive years.
He's already talked about the Edmondson trade a few times.
Yep. And then I'll discuss that later.
Can I letter mail you something? I'm here in Canada. Our address is in the description of every video.
Yep. And live stream as well.
Yes. So. It's a video, so it counts as one of every video. It is in the description. So
and live stream.
Just please don't mail to the American one. Well, unless you don't mind us not getting it until next year. I'm in Ferndale. That's crazy. Hello from Ferndale. That's where our post office box is. You want to throw stuff across Zero Avenue to us? Because we've got a lot of stuff in Ferndale.
Yeah.
Just throw it over Zero Avenue. They won't care.
They won't care. Just pretend we're playing volleyball over the fence.
All those border guards and their
missed it again.
on 4-wheelers. And
missed it again.
They don't care when you throw stuff over.
Yeah, just throw it all into volleyballs, and then we'll just play volleyball.
Yeah.
These volleyballs don't bounce very high. We're gonna need new volleyballs.
Is the smoke any better today? No, it's
worse. It's worse.
It's really bad today.
Yeah, it's worse. It's awful.
It's really bad. And now I've been inside for like 2 hours, so I'm able to breathe a little bit better.
Yeah, it's bad.
I had to go do a grocery store pickup, so even though I was wearing my mask with my charcoal filter, it's still really bad, and it's making my eyes burn.
Yeah, I'm glad I do the treadmill instead of jogging outside, because there's no way that I can jog outside. I haven't been able to. I usually do 5.25 kilometers every day outside. I can't go outside. I do 5 miles on the treadmill every day.
Yeah.
Inside, because outside would be weird on a treadmill.
That would be weird.
That'd be weird if I was in our front parking lot here jogging on a treadmill. That would look really bizarre.
That would be weird. Yeah.
Do a live stream on THG where I'm doing that, though.
Do you have air purifiers in the house? They will help.
I don't think we do.
No. Well, I did turn on. We have a fan upstairs that has an air filter, and I did turn that on. We don't have much in the way of air purifiers or anything like that, because you're Canadian and you use miles. His treadmill, I don't. I have my treadmills.
Mine's set on miles. I don't have the option of kilometers.
His, it's in miles for some reason.
Mine's in miles, and there isn't an option to change it to kilometers.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely
use I jog. I'm up to what I do now is I jog at 5.4 miles an hour, and I jog about 5 miles a day. I was at 5.2 miles an hour and 4 miles a day, but I've had to up it because the older I get, the more my body says, I want to shut down. And I have to fight it and say no.
And it's funny. Yeah, my treadmill's in kilometers. So I only know how fast I go in kilometers.
Which is like 5 or 6.
I go 6.5 kilometers an hour.
About 4 miles an hour.
I know it's way slower than Shannon because I don't do that whole jogging crap.
I love the jogging crap. It's fun. I watch an episode or two of Legends of Tomorrow, and I jog.
And I try and go just over 5 kilometers.
And it's season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow, so it's when they're all stupid. So when I spend the whole episode going, and you're still dumb, and you're being dumb, that's stupid. This is why I stopped watching it. I had to come back to it later, but I'm getting through it because I know seasons 4 and 5 are fantastic.
What do you think Barzl's contract will be?
I would say anywhere from 8 to 10 million. Depends on his term. It depends on whether or not there's an offer sheet that comes in. And Barzl's worth every penny. Barzl's absolutely fantastic.
Run in the snow. We'd have to have snow for that.
Yeah, we don't get snow here very often, if at all. Some winters we don't get any at all.
No. Well, no, we always have at least one
Not
snow.
Always. I can't remember
any years where we've
seen
had
winters
no
where there's none.
snow.
I've seen winters where
Shadow does some serious yoga while bathing. He does.
That's what tires him out. That's why he needs a nap.
To make sure he's fully visible. Are you a full-time Uber? Uber. Shannon's a full-time Uber. YouTuber.
Yes.
Shannon works more than full-time.
I do more now than I did before.
She's going out the door.
Yeah.
Shannon works way more than... It's all day.
Because when you're self-employed and you work from home, anytime that I'm at home and I'm up and I'm awake, my mind says, okay, you can be doing something for one of your videos. You can be making a board. You can be doing stuff for one of your channels. So
Shannon
I'm always
turn off
trying to figure out some other video topic or something else I could talk about. And if it's not hockey related, then I put it on the Entertainment Guy channel. And so that's how that happens. Sometimes there's 6 or 7 videos that might go up in a day, and 4 on this channel, 3 on the other has happened.
How's the income in comparison to then? When's then?
Compared to my previous job, my previous job was not a great job.
He had to quit his old job because he was losing money on days that he was going to work.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like you have to make very much to make more than really.
But we live in a house. We could not have afforded a house. There's no way we could have afforded a house with my old job. There's no way. It's too expensive where we are. And so that just wasn't going to be a thing. I don't know if I was if I was working at the old job, Yvonne would probably have to have a full-time job as well.
We were looking
for us to make ends meet.
We were looking at, well, there's no way we'd be able to afford this place. And we don't live in a big house by any means. We live in a regular BC box, like most of the other people in Abbotsford. Your options are either a BC box or a townhouse. We moved from townhouse to a BC box. But when we lived in the townhouse, when he was working at the meat plant, we were looking at me getting a job and trying to figure out how that works with the kids and all of that. So logistically it's not great. Was not a lot.
But I was broke for approximately 20 years before the channel came around. Flat broke most of the time. Like I would get paid, and then by the end of my payday, after bills and after groceries, I might have $20 to my name. That was legit the way that life was for years.
What's a BC box?
It's a house.
It's a house. Everybody has the same house here. They're like slightly different. It's a 2-story house.
2 bedrooms up, 1 down.
It can be 2 or 3 bedrooms upstairs, and they're all the same floor plan. The downstairs is where it differs a little. There's usually a small kitchen and 1 or 2 bedrooms downstairs. No, it depends on the house. That's where it depends.
Most of the ones I saw, they always had a rec room.
Don't have that
room.
No,
it won't have a bedroom. Just be a full rec room.
And then it has the garage. Ours doesn't have a garage. It was built into a house. But it's all a house that all has very similar floor plan and looks almost exactly the same from the outside, but slightly different design. They're all made in the 70s and 80s. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of them in Abbotsford.
A ton of them in Chilliwack, too.
Yeah, and so if you go into anybody's house, you already know where everything is because we all have the kitchen in the same spot. It can be slightly different, but it'll all have the dining room in the same spot, the washrooms in the same spot. It's just a design of house. And it's most of the houses in Abbotsford.
All right. Anyways.
Western Canada go, you more expensive housing gets. That's true. That's why we don't live in Vancouver. Well, I wouldn't want to live in Vancouver anyways.
No.
What do you think of the Joel Edmondson trade?
The Edmondson trade, I'll do a video on that before I do my treadmill and my daily stuff before the game starts, which is in a couple hours. So I should probably get going pretty quick here, but I'll do a video on that. Basically, I think it's a no-lose situation for Montreal. I understand what Carolina's doing too, because they're not going to be able to keep them, so it doesn't hurt.
No, we're not having more cats. No, we're not having a dog because we have 4 cats.
Right. And dogs track in fleas.
Nobody says hoose. Canadians don't pronounce O-U as oo. No, it's O. It's different than how Americans say it, but it's not ooh. We don't say a boot. It's about.
Good kitty.
That's a stereotype that doesn't exist.
Not in this part of Canada, anyways.
They don't know. It's.
You go far enough east, you're going to hear something similar to that.
So, like, about, it sounds way closer. It's not a boot. It's more similar to a boat. Not a boat. It's a boat, which is closer to a boat. See? Ta-da!
There we go.
Do we say A? Absolutely.
She says it more than I do.
I do.
So.
Beer's gross.
Not a big fan.
No, it's gross.
Never been a big fan. Anyways, we should probably get going. And I've got, like I said, I've got the treadmill. I'll do the video on that trade, I guess, since there's a lot of people interested in what's going on. So I'll do that. Maybe I'll slip in the preview for tomorrow's game too, because tomorrow's game starts at noon. But thanks, guys, for coming out every Saturday. And finger guns. What's wrong with finger guns? What's wrong with finger guns? No. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and we will do this again soon.
Lars is linking the
and check out the
website.
Yes. THGYT.com. Awesome. Ooh. Let's get cooking. Agreed. All right. We will talk to you again soon.